Alright, today I'm going to be making Spanish Kabobs. It's a recipe I found on Mr. Skewer's YouTube channel. I guess it's kind of a good activity. That's what I do. Family activity idea is just to, that I'm giving out, I guess, on YouTube, is to do a random international kebab. I don't know how many other YouTube channels there are, but I know like Mr. Skewer himself, he does a lot of different types of kebabs. You know, there's like Chinese type kebabs, Middle Eastern kebabs, and in this case, like I have Spanish kebabs. I mean, I literally go to random.com. Actually, it's random.org. I go to random.org, and then I do three options. The first one is the first video, or the most recent video, which usually shows up first on their list of uploads. The second option will, if it's number 2, would be its first video, and number 3 would be just a random video. So I literally put play all on their all their uploads, and it'll have like a playlist on YouTube. So if there's like 189 videos, I'll put that in random.org, hit the button, see whatever number that is, and whatever video is on that number, that's what I do. So it's a good, I guess, a good family activity idea, especially while the thing's going around and everybody's trying to stay inside. And I'll tell you one thing though, when you do things like that, when you because I do the same thing with I do sometimes Middle Eastern countries. I do a random country and I try to do a random food from that country. I go to YouTube, I do a random video. Literally, I get everything on YouTube. I can probably show you another video on how to do that. I get a random video using that random.org button. But sometimes you can come up with things that, like, I had to get some mailed in spices. Maybe you can get them at a grocer, but I try to not, like a Asian grocery or Middle Eastern grocery store, but I try not to go out too much. So I rather just buy it through the mail, even if it's a little more. But like with this recipe, the Spanish kebabs, I'll tell you one thing. Well, I mean, the saffron's going to be a little pricey, but you can always have access to that. I think they're always at local grocers, at least in my area. But one I did have a problem finding was this sherry vinegar, which is with an S. You see, not like cherry with a C, sherry vinegar. I don't have a speech impediment. It's actually spelled that way. So now I'll save you a lot of time if you're gonna do Spanish kebabs and you need sherry vinegar. I spent a lot of research trying to find out where can I get a hold of this, because it's a product of Spain. It even says it right there, right? See, now I couldn't. I don't remember if I looked on Amazon, but I do know that where I wound up finding this, like I told you, I'll save you some time. It was at World Market. I think that's a national chain. They have a lot of different things from around the world, and I got this Spanish sherry vinegar. And it's lasted me for a while. I've only used it for this recipe, and I cooked this recipe about three times. Maybe this is my third or fourth time cooking it. But that's kind of the special ingredient that you're gonna have trouble finding. And just check World Market. All right, so let me set this up. Maybe you guys can see as I'm doing this. All right, so I've been doing a lot of cooking during the thing and trying to stay home and everything. But all right, I just dirtied my right hand. I need that to cut. Let me go wash. Okay, I'm back. Trying to keep my right hand clean so I can touch the knife, not contaminate the knife. Try not to cross-contaminate things. But you got to cut these into cubes. But not for the huge kebab swords, which I have some of those, and I've done some good kebabs from Mr. Skewer's channel. Like, I mean, you can get some kebabs like this, like a cube good like this. That'll be a small cube on a kebab sword, or normal maybe. But on these are gonna be regular. These are gonna be regular skewers. So that's about as big as you probably want to go. That's okay size. You want to go with cubes. So let me see. And it's the standard size kebab skewer. So that'll be okay. I think I'm doing them maybe on a little bit bigger side, but it'll work out. Now this recipe usually does feed I feed 3 people. And I usually do it twice. A little bit, there you go. So now that sherry vinegar, I'm pretty sure that's like the secret ingredient there. So here we go. This is 2 pounds of chicken. If you want the exact recipe, you can go to Mr. Skewer's video. I'm actually doing chicken. He did pork on his. Alright, chopping parsley now. And I'm going to do the red onion in a bit. Now with the red onion, I know on my shaking table. On Mr. Skewer's video, he actually cut them small. But I've found that if I cut them, pretty much if I just quarter that onion, I'll have them big enough to skewer onto some extra kebabs. And not only would the onion marinate with it, but now you got some onion you can cook on the kebabs and add next to your chicken. Okay, I'll show that in a while. Alright, now we're gonna get well, here's the onions like I was telling you about. If you just quarter that onion, you have a lot of these, and then you can marinate in there with it, and then at the end you can stick them on a kebab too and cook them up. I don't know if it's safe because it's touching raw meat, but I put it over the fire and I've done it several times and I'm still here. So, okay, I already added the parsley too and the onions, and so here's olive oil. It's half a cup. Sherry vinegar is going to be 2 tablespoons. Now this comes like, it's almost like a wine. It's like, it's got a cork and everything. It's pretty, I guess it's fancy. Well, it only comes from Spain. So it's 2 tablespoons. 1. Kind of a malt vinegar flavor. Okay, and then it's paprika powder. I'm gonna go rinse this thing. All right, 2 tablespoons of paprika. Got some in here. One, 2. 1.5 teaspoons of ground cumin. Now we're down to teaspoons, the little ones. 1.5. So here's 1. And I eyeballed a half there. 3 garlic cloves. Bought this one at a grocery store. I thought it was gonna be that one you see on YouTube a lot, where it's like you can put one little clove at a time and squeeze it out. I was thinking like, this thing's too big, but you can actually fit multiple garlics in there, so it's actually good. I was pleased with it after all. So get this in there. That's 3 garlic cloves. You might have seen what looked like 4 because there's 2 little ones in there. I made them count as 1. I'm just trying to clean it out. No use wasting all that good garlic. Alright. And then it's cayenne powder, 1/2 teaspoon. Eyeball half right here. There we go. 2 2 teaspoons of salt. And 1/3 of a teaspoon of saffron. I got a little here. I've heard that this stuff is some expensive stuff. It's like, it's worth more in its weight than gold. That's what I've heard. I think Alton Brown said that. So you might not want to spill this thing. So I'm just gonna eyeball. I think it was like $17 for this little baggie, which doesn't even fill the whole jar. It's like this one has a little jar within a jar. Yeah, the other one was like a little baggie. So now I don't know if I have another one here. I don't know if that's affected here. That's what's in there. I don't know if this really affects the flavor. I think it does. 1/3 of a teaspoon. I guess I'm gonna need a little bit more. Got all that expensive stuff all over the board. All right, here we go. That should be enough. I'll scrape off what's on the board and then mix it, marinate it, and then I'll see you at the grill. Almost forgot the part where you gotta mix it. Look at all that goodness. Okay, so we're cooking now. Okay, those are the onions I told you about. Sometimes you have the smaller onion, I guess it falls apart. I sometimes have a whole kebab of onions, but this time, one time I even had 2 on each end and a whole kebab of a bunch of onions. So it just depends on how that onion breaks apart, how big it is. There you go, it's looking good. Okay, let me see how the rice came out. Okay, some decent yellow rice. I just put rice in the rice steamer and the rice cooker. Put about half a teaspoon of turmeric. I don't know, I put 2 of these little spoons that are right here, so I don't know. I think that's a 1/4 of a teaspoon. And I usually put mushrooms and yellow bell peppers, but my mushrooms went bad. And right now I only have frozen yellow bell peppers. I think the last time I did one I really liked it was when it was fresh. But yellow rice, yellow bell peppers, and we'll see how it comes out. Looks good. I usually would have a pile of mushrooms right there, usually.